It's a great shakeout period for journalism right now. The technology is getting better. I think it has gotten much better. It has gotten cheaper. The technology, the cameras are smaller. At the same time, the journalists don't have the training that they had when I came in. It took a long time for a journalist when I was coming up to become a producer, a senior producer. Now, because media is so spread out, people move up very quickly, and I'm concerned that there are people making decisions that don't have the background, the qualifications, the ethical judgment in some cases to make them. But there's also the blogging, websites, Twitter. All of these things are coming into playing. We hear more about citizen journalism now, and I have some concerns about that because citizens can play an important role, but are they journalists? Journalism is a profession. If you were going to go to the dentist to get your teeth drilled on, you wouldn't go to just anybody, you would go to a professional. The same if there's somebody to fix your car, you would go to a professional. Journalism is something that develops some skills. Who is telling the truth? Who has enough information? But once you start reading a blog or getting Twitter accounts, you have to make a decision, not just based on one report, but based on over a long term of, I believe this person. A lot of what he's saying has come true. A lot of what she is saying is interesting to me. But a lot of it and a lot of other things I'm reading is garbage. So this is what I call the great shakeout period. Some will survive, a lot will not. Well, I think television is trying to figure that out as well. For instance, where I used to work, the NewsHour on PBS, it was a popular program, not the most watched program. It had a select audience, but a very loyal audience. But it has now put a lot of money into developing its website as well, and a lot of the people are Twittering. So the question is, how important is the website? It certainly gives you access to material that you might have missed. It's a good thing to have, but whether it can survive on its own, whether you should take money away from doing television and put it into your website or to the internet, it's a good question. So when I talk about a shakeout, this is the decisions that people have to make. The big decision makers have to rely on young people to come in and show them how to use it, and then they have to make decisions based on how effective it can be, because they have to invest money in this, and dollars are very scarce right now, certainly in the West, certainly in the United States, for media. Well, I think politics still interests a lot of people, so I think the social media is just a new tool, or many tools, of a way of how people learn about politics, and politicians are also learning more about how to use social media to their advantage. And we saw this with Howard Dean, who was a candidate for president. He used social media to raise a lot of money. Barack Obama also used social media. I wonder here about how much social media is being used. I know there's not a use of the internet as wide as there is maybe in a lot of the Western countries. But if it's not important yet, it certainly will be very soon. The New York Times, which offered its websites for free for a long time, is now charging for access. And I'm someone who always got the New York Times for free at work. I like sitting Sunday morning with a big fat newspaper and my cup of coffee and leisurely going through it. But now I'm going to subscribe because I know that's good journalism. The Wall Street Journal has also been doing this, and the Wall Street Journal is surviving too. And I still get a delivery every day of the Washington Post newspaper. Some days I won't even open up, but I believe that it's important to support newspapers, so I have a subscription, even though on many days I won't even look at it. I'll just look at it online.